Live from Cali College, welcome to the Tigers Den.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 5 of the Tigers Den. I'm here with Jared, Kobe, and my man, Joe Blake. Let's get this started. We're going to start off right away, guys. We got a lot to talk about today. Starting off with, of course, as we always do, the National Football League. Big topic of the day, playoffs. First question I have is, are the Chicago Bears in? They have to win against the Packers, and then we have to wait for the Cardinals and the Rams game. So we'll start off with Kobe. Kobe, are the Chicago Bears in the playoffs?
Sorry, but I don't think Chicago is making the playoffs. I just really don't think they're going to make it. It's other teams that have performed better, records are better. And if they can win these, is it week 17? It's week 17, I'm pretty sure, right? If they can win this game, I'm pretty sure they might have a chance. It's like a lot of things got to happen, though. So it's like the odds are not really in their favor.
Joe, what do you think?
Okay, I just want to know. I mean, we're definitely on a Bears fans podcast right now if this is the first topic being brought up, because even if they do make the playoffs, they ain't doing anything in them. So let's just get that out of the way first, okay? Now, are they going to make the playoffs? Again, like, who cares? I mean, okay, they could beat the Packers in what is a meaningless game for the Packers almost. I mean, I think if the Packers have to win to get the 1 seed, but they're going to be fine. I mean, I think they don't make it. I think they lose. Of course, I think Rams and the Cardinals both can control their own destiny if that's the case. But, that 7th seed, the only team out of those three, Rams, Cardinals, and Bears, the only team out of those three that I can see doing any damage in the playoffs is the Rams. Even though they lost to the Jets, they still have done some good things this year. So, but I mean, if it's the Cardinals or the Bears and the Rams aren't in, I mean, that 7th seed is irrelevant. I'm sorry.
Jared, what do you think?
Saying the same thing. If they make it, they make it. They're not going to go far. But if they don't, they don't. I don't know.
Well, folks, I waited last for a special reason. Listen, guys, let me tell you something. My Chicago Bears are going to do well. They're going to make the playoffs, and we're going to do a good job, okay? This guy right here, Mr. Trubisky, he was dead just a few weeks ago. And now he's back, and we're going to win the whole freaking – no, we're not going to win the whole freaking thing. But we'll make the playoffs, and I think we have a chance. If our offense continues to do what they do, run the dang ball, and throw it to Allen Robinson, I think we have a serious chance to contend with the Packers and all these other teams as well. I love Joe's reaction is the best. So is Kobe. Said, listen, man, we got to be a homer here. At least okay, I might not be a Chiefs fan, but at least give the Bears a chance. I'm really nervous to see if we make the playoffs, first of all, because we have to beat the Packers, who are contending for number 1 seed. So we'll see what happens. So
I think we're contending with the Packers. They just blew out the Tennessee Titans on primetime football. I mean, you got your big win against the Jaguars. I mean, good, but
somebody's salty. I think we can all agree. Somebody's salty their team didn't make it in the playoffs.
I mean, am I a little disappointed? Yeah, but I'm not. If the Vikings were in the Bears' position, let's just say that were the thing right now, right. I wouldn't be hoping for the Cardinals or the Rams to lose so we could get in. We're not going to be effective in the playoffs, So last year when we played the Saints and beat them in the wild card round, it was okay, that's nice, but we're not beating the 49ers. I mean, I knew that as soon as Kyle Rudolph caught that pass. I was like, okay, this is the peak of our year. It's over.
And what I love about the playoffs is I know, you have those dead set teams, but anything can really happen. Don't get I'm not just talking for the Bears here, for all the teams. I think anything can seriously happen. It's a team can pick up, make a crazy run, and you never know. I know the Panthers did it. They were showing it on the broadcast here in Chicago that last time. a team with this record made the Super Bowl was the Panthers, and you know how the Panthers did. They lost against the Broncos, but they still made it. So you'd never really know, and that's what I love about the playoffs is something crazy could happen, and you never know.
Yeah, I just think that there's a fine line between contenders and pretenders.
Yeah,
and
that's a good one.
I think the Bears are pretenders. There's some contenders out there, but I don't think the Bears are one of them. I think they're pretenders.
And Kobe, this week we'll move on to the next subject here. Kobe, this week your Chiefs locked up the number 1 seed in the AFC. The AFC playoffs are coming through Arrowhead. How do you feel about that, and how excited are you for this playoff?
Oh man, just being a Chiefs fan, all my Chiefs fans out there, y'all know this is the most nerve-wracking time of the year because playoffs, most nervous time. Last year, it was still nervous. I mean, down 24-0, down 17-7. We're just down all these games. And watching the Chiefs game is always the most nerve-wracking thing. And it's crazy because we play better on the road, I think, than at home. So it's just nervous, but I'm ready to see them play. Hopefully, they learn from these past few weeks because our margin of wins haven't been that great. We've literally been winning the past 7 weeks in a row. We've only won by 1 possession, and a lot of those games we were in control. But I want us to blow those teams out. I don't want them to come back and they got to get an onside to win it, and that's just make the game more nerve-wracking. So hopefully, when we get in the playoffs, we can cruise through, start dominating these teams, and not have me have a heart attack.
Jared, what do you think about the Chiefs so far this year?
I mean, like Kobe said, they have a ton of close games, but they were in control for most of them. So I still have them as my Super Bowl favorites, just because I think when it comes playoff time, I think they're just going to turn it up another notch. So, I mean, I think my Super Bowl prediction is still Packers versus Chiefs. I mean, I can see the Packers still winning it, but I think those are the 2 clear winners out of the AFC and NFC.
Yep. Well, while we're on this conversation, we'll start off with Joe. And you said Packers versus Chiefs, and we'll ask you at the end. But who are your two Super Bowl teams, Joe? Who do you think is going to make it?
Well, out of the NFC is kind of up in the air. I haven't really seen. I mean, the Packers had a pretty big statement win against the Titans, so I think Packers are a safe choice. I think the Seahawks could be a dark horse in there. That they could be a team that comes and surprises people. But as far as the AFC goes, I haven't seen the statement win from the Chiefs to convince me that they're the best team in the AFC. I mean, record-wise, obviously, they've got the 1 seed. We know this. But right now, I think that my favorite for the AFC is the Buffalo Bills. They had a big win against the Steelers. Just have won multiple big games this year. And right now, they could be 13-2 right now if it weren't for the Hail Murray. They would be with a 14-2 record as opposed to 13-3 record going into the playoffs. I mean, people are kind of overlooking them because the Chiefs have been the favorites all year, and we might see something out of the Bills.
I agree. I think those are some great teams. I'm going to tell you my 2 teams. I think that it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. I think the Bills are going to make it the AFC Championship game. I think is definitely going to be the Chiefs and the Bills. Cannot wait for that game. That's going to be a great game to watch. Cannot wait. And I think the Packers are definitely coming out of the NFC North. Not the North and the NFC in general. They're a really good team this year. They're a team to be messed with. So I think it's going to be Bills and the Packers. Kobe, what are your 2 teams?
That's the only team I'm nervous about is the Buffalo Bills AFC wise, but I think the Chiefs could pull it out. I feel like our defense has gotten way better over the course of the year. They haven't been inconsistent like they was, last year or 2 years ago. Teams are still putting up those points, but like I said, the Chiefs will be up by so much that they come back during the end of the game. So I feel like our defense is gotten better to where they can hold their own, and our offense has got to produce better. But saying that, I feel like AFC side, it will be the Chiefs. And NFC side, I think it's between the Packers and the Saints. I think people still sleep on the Saints. Saints are a very good team still. Drew Brees struggled against the Chiefs because he just came back from the injury. But this past week, he played very good. Alvin Kamara had 6 touchdowns. We can't discredit that.
Yeah.
He made a case for himself as one of the best top 3, top 5 running backs in the league. He just made a case for himself. So
can I just say something about Alvin Kamara's 6 touchdowns? The front 7 for the Vikings, 6 out of 7 front 7 starters were missing for the Vikings. I'm not Mike Zimmer, the coach of Minnesota, he's always been next man up. Holy cow, whoever the next man up for that front 7 was not ready for that. So, obviously, I'm not trying to make excuses for my team, but I don't know if Alvin Kamara does that against any healthy team, let alone the Vikings, who are already crappy, and then 6 out of 7 front 7 starters are out. So I don't know. I just don't see. It's awesome. I think Kamara's an awesome back, but I don't see it as some big time thing that he got 6 touchdowns.
We got Joe Blake, the hater here, hating on Alvin Kamara because
I love Alvin Kamara.
Minnesota.
He's a Hutchinson Community College guy. I watched him play at JUCO. Made plenty of plays. My friend was his dad was the coach here at HCC, and have a lot of respect for Kamara. But the 6 touchdowns against the front 7. Sports Center and everybody else is going to make a big deal about it. But if you look into it, it's oh, okay.
So who do you got out of the NFC there, Kobe?
Tough. Chiefs, AFC. I'm going to go NFC. I'm going to go Packers. I'm going to definitely go Packers. Aaron Rodgers is just killing the league right now. I don't think anybody can stop him. And Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns. Devontae Adams had 3 touchdowns alone. Nobody can stop Devontae Adams. He's just going crazy right now. EA, if you watch this one day, you need to bump him up to 99 overall. This is sad. He's definitely top 3 receivers in the NFL right now, and if not top 3, then the best.
One thing we haven't talked about yet in the NFL is Mr. Dwayne Haskins from the Washington football team getting booted, getting the boot, saying see ya after they didn't really give a full explanation, but really I'm guessing he went to a special place that James Harden likes to go to as well. And it just it didn't really work out. So it was interesting to see what happened there and how it was just so quick. And he didn't really play good the week before. So what are you guys' thoughts? We'll start with Jared and work our way around on Dwayne Haskins getting released.
I forgot who tweeted it out, but it was a really good take on it that I sort of agree with it. It was just that many players come into the NFL and want to build their brand or make a name for themselves without actually doing the football part of the NFL. And Booger McFarland said something close to that, but he kind of made it to where it was only targeting the African Americans coming into the league, which there's many examples of other races doing it, like Johnny Manziel and TJ Leaf and all of them. There's other examples for different races, but I agree that some players do not realize how much work it takes to be an NFL player, and that's where they start to fold, and then they just trying to rebuild, the personality or some sort of that. Like we saw that with a little bit of Baker Mayfield early on to his career, but now he's starting to shape it out a little bit, but yeah, I just think Dwayne just didn't feel like he worked hard enough. And also you could blame it on, the football team, just the organization, how they do develop their players. Cause they also had RG3, which also didn't really pan out. It panned out for 1 year. It worked out for 1 year, and then the injury happened and then just a falling out, and now he's a backup. But yeah.
Joe, what do you think?
Personally, when we don't know what's going on inside the locker room and with the other 52 guys and the whole organization. But as far as he's second year or third year in the league.
This would be his third, if I'm correct.
So third year quarterback out of Ohio State, first round. And I don't know how many chances he's got or whatever, but I mean, like Jared said, Baker was kind of having some similar issues, and now look what Baker's doing, And so while Haskins, hasn't really shown all that much on the field, I disagree with giving up on him. I think that there's a lot of potential, and if you're a NFL team that is struggling, and especially at the quarterback position, this isn't a bad risk to take to pick up Haskins. But like I said, we don't know what's going on in the locker room, in the team offices. We don't know how many chances he's been given or whatever. But I mean, he seemed like, there were some moments this year where it's like, okay, Haskins is getting it together. Named team captain. You saw him when Alex Smith came in and replaced him. He was on the sidelines. He helped a teammate up after he got tackled and picked him right up on the sidelines, got him off. He was kind of walking off the field after the last game against the Panthers, and his Ohio State teammate came and jogged him off the field, went and helped him do that. So, there's been signs that he's growing. So, like I said, we don't exactly know what's going on, but I feel like the scissors were brought out a little too early. But it's not really for us to tell.
Kobe, what you think?
I did a lot of research on the topic, and I also watched a lot of videos on the topic. So one of the main reasons that they cut him was he violated a COVID protocol earlier on this season, and he got fined and benched for that. Then the incident with the strip club just happened, and that's also violating another COVID protocol. So that's 2 strikes already right there. Then Dwayne Haskins also started earlier this season and got benched. And when he did get benched, it wasn't even as the second string quarterback. He got benched as the third string quarterback. And after that, they said, he became a problem in the locker room. He was frustrated with coaches and teammates. So, I mean, I can understand exactly why they cut him. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, they say he wasn't putting in the work. He wasn't putting in the effort. He would come to film sessions. He wouldn't really know about the defenses. He really wouldn't know anything. Last year, week 17, they won the game, but before they won, they put Case Keenum out there to knee for the game. Before the game was over, before the clock hit 0, he was taking pictures with fans and doing this and doing that, and the game wasn't even over yet. So he just got a lot growing up to do. He's still very immature. And, if you're going to be an NFL quarterback, you got to put in the work, because of course I don't know what it's like to be an NFL quarterback, but I am an athlete and I know what it takes to put in that work and dedicate it. And these players, not even just the players, the quarterbacks, they're making the most money on that field. They're making way more than the receivers, the linemen. So if they're making the most money, you got to put in the most work. And this isn't college anymore. This isn't Ohio State. You don't get chances. You don't get blah, blah, this and that. You are in the NFL now. This is your job. They pay you to do this. So you got to put in the time, the effort, and you got to be responsible, put in the work, because this ain't nothing to play around with. Anybody could just take your spot. Not anybody, but, they could literally see you on the street just like that. And he found that out yesterday. So I hope Dwayne has to get another job, but I can also understand why the Washington football team cut him.
Yeah, I agree with all you guys' point. And I'm sorry, I'm going to make a correction. It's his second year in the league this year. So he got drafted 2 years ago. So would be his second year. But the thing about Dwayne Haskins is, I think I've been listening to a lot of sports talk, a lot of Pat McAfee, stuff like that. But what they've been saying is he got spoon-fed everything basically since high school. He's the best player on his high school team. They passed up Joe Burrow. They said they kicked Joe Burrow out to keep him in, Haskins in, because was their quarterback. So he was getting spoon-fed, getting shortcut. It's okay. You're the best. You're the best. You're the best. Well, now you're in the big leagues, buddy, and, you're not going to be the best in everything that you do. So he had to learn And I think this is going to be a learning experience. I think Dwayne Haskins gets the job in either the NFL or the XFL. So I do not think we'll be done seeing Dwayne Haskins. But as he said on his Twitter, hopefully he's learning from this. It's a learning experience, and he'll move on from here a better man. All right. So
I'm
now,
wondering if
sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm wondering. This might be completely out of line, but if because I know the Rams and the Cardinals might need quarterbacks this weekend. I know you wouldn't do it and put Haskins in this Sunday, but if it's even legal, are they allowed to pick him up right now and maybe use him in the playoffs if
Yep.
Goff and Murray can't get healthy?
Yes, as of right now, I just read a tweet on it a few hours ago. Is Haskins is a free agent. Yeah, anyone can pick him up right now. Anyone, he dropped all that money, and you don't have to go through the football team. You can just go through anyone you want, and it doesn't matter. You can get picked up by anyone. So that is a great point. If the Rams or the Cardinals are going to need him because Kyler Murray or Jared Goff is hurt, what do you guys think? Is that a good option? We'll start with Jared.
I don't know if it'll be a great option right now. I would just probably stick with your backup. Whoever their backup is right now, I would just stick with him. Just because of chemistry. He actually has chemistry. He's not new to the team. It probably won't be weird. But yes, I do think Dwayne Haskins should still get a chance. Obviously, it's his second year. I just hope. Yeah, I just don't think that any team should pick him up right now to start, maybe as a backup. But I think he definitely deserves another chance. And, he's really young. I just hope it doesn't turn out like Jamarcus Russell in any point. But, yeah, I mean, I just don't think he should be picked up immediately right now. But, yeah.
Kobe, what you think?
I definitely think he should be given another chance. It's just not. I don't think so soon. People already have their teams together. It's getting ready to hit the playoff time. Like I said, we don't know if Cardinals or Rams is certified in that spot yet, but it's time. It's getting around that time where we already locked in. So I don't think he should be picked up instantly, but I definitely do. I definitely do think he deserves another chance. Most definitely. I'm not gonna say he's done in the NFL because I definitely think he'll be picked up. I mean, he's talented. He got God-given talent, but once he just gets there, put that work in, I think he'll be great. But instantly, no. But I think he'll get picked up during the offseason after the season, most definitely.
Joe, what you think?
I don't think it'll actually happen. When I mentioned this, I was like, okay, this is kind of like a 1% thing to happen.
Right.
But if I were the Rams or Cardinals front office, I would be considering it just because, most teams in the NFL are only keeping 2 quarterbacks on a roster now and opening up more leeway for the for the rest of the 51 guys. So I don't know. I just think it would be interesting to see, even if he came in as a backup, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's not going to learn this playbook and then start this Sunday. I mean, it's Tuesday and he hasn't been picked up yet. But I think that if he were to be brought into the Rams or Cardinals right now, and then one of those teams make the playoffs, and then, oh no, something happens to the backup now starter, then Haskins has been there for a minute, and he's not going to know the playbook by heart. But I mean, I've seen Sam Bradford for the Vikings get traded to the Vikings, right before week 1, and then was starting week 2 on Sunday Night Football against the Packers and led them to a victory. So now I don't, is Dwayne Haskins that guy? I mean, that's probably why the Redskins got rid of him. Probably not, but it's just it's something to consider.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I probably wouldn't pick him at this time. If it's going around the league right now that he wasn't good in the locker room, why would you want that in the locker room going into the playoffs? So, probably next year. I say I could definitely see him being on a different team next year, or the XFL, being the XFL coming back next year. It'll be interesting to see where he's at, but, that's life. And I think he learned a very valuable lesson from all this, and hopefully he moves on from this a better man, as we said in the beginning. All right, guys. Last thing we're going to talk about NFL here is who is your MVP? We're going to start off with Joe. Joe, tell us who your MVP is so far and who you think is going to win.
Okay, so right now the favorite is Aaron Rodgers. I think that would go for everybody. Just give it a thumbs up if you think Aaron Rodgers is your guy. Oh, Kobe with the side thumb. Okay, well, my guy, dark horse in the MVP race, and it might be a little shocking. It's a man by the name of Josh Allen.
Oh,
Now,
boy.
yes, it is a little bit different. I've got the stats pulled up right here. I've got Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen side by side. Aaron Rodgers leads 44-34 in passing touchdowns, but Josh Allen makes up for that in rushing touchdowns, bridges that gap to five touchdowns closer in total touchdowns. And yards, Josh Allen leads Aaron Rodgers by 300 yards. And as far as like a running game goes, Josh Allen's running backs aren't exactly the best. I think with Jones for the Packers, and he's got a lot better, decoy in the running game than Josh Allen has. And as far as like narrative goes and everything, I mean, Josh Allen has the Buffalo Bills as the new kings of the AFC East. And we haven't seen anybody besides Tom Brady or Bill Belichick as the king of the AFC East in a long time. I just think narrative-wise, Josh Allen might be the guy. Personally, I would probably give it to Aaron Rodgers, but don't be surprised when you see Josh Allen be the one called when it's MVP time.
All right, Jared. That's a great take. Thank you, Joe. Jared, what do you think?
I just think it's a little too late for Josh Allen to make an MVP case, especially on when it's week 17. It's definitely just between Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes right now. But if you were to tell me that a few weeks ago, yeah, I would agree with that because Josh Allen's having an amazing career or amazing season and career right now. But yeah, I still have I'm switching over to Aaron Rodgers. I was saying Patrick Mahomes last episode, but I'm switching over to Aaron Rodgers just because of that Titans game, definitely. But yeah.
That's a good take as well. All right, we'll finish it off with Kobe, then I'll go last here.
All right. First of all, Joe, terrible take. Josh Allen.
Oh,
I won't be surprised. Won't be surprised because Josh Allen is not even. No, he can get out of here. So we got Patrick Mahomes. We got Aaron Rodgers, and I think Aaron Rodgers is going to get it. Now, do I want him to get it? I don't. Of course, I want Patrick Mahomes to get it. But,
Of course.
I mean, the way Patrick Mahomes has been playing the past 4 weeks, it's just been average stats. And it's crazy. Like I said, I talked about this, a couple episodes ago. I talked about, an average game for Patrick Mahomes is 2-3 touchdowns, 300-plus passing yards. And when he doesn't do that, it's just like, well, he played a bad game. And, he
got mossed.
He did get mossed. You're right. He got mossed. I mean, he is a quarterback, not a wide receiver, so that might happen. But I got to give it to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's been playing perfect. I want to say perfect. He's been playing about perfect these past 4 weeks. He's been on a stretch where he hasn't had any turnovers. He's been throwing touchdowns. I'm pretty sure he leads the league in touchdowns with 44.
Yep.
And I think he's only thrown 5 interceptions, so he's 44-5, and that's crazy. That's like almost perfect. So I gotta give it to Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is gonna come out with it. But if somehow Patrick Mahomes won it, because I'm pretty sure he's playing this Sunday, and he can go over that 5,000 mark yard for the season. He's leading, of course, quarterbacks for the season. So, if Patrick Mahomes got it, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll be happy. But if Aaron Rodgers gets it, I wouldn't be surprised either. But I got Aaron Rodgers winning it.
All right. As I've been saying, since Tigers Den started, I'm going to give it to what Stephen A. says. He is a bad man. Aaron freaking Rodgers is getting this MVP. I've said it since the beginning. I think there's no doubt. And as I wear like a Bears jersey, I'm saying that. So that really says something. But as you said, first in the league, throwing 44 touchdowns, 44-5, the best QBR rating, which doesn't really mean much, but it's still on there of 83.9. So Rodgers is going to take it home. I think that Atlanta game with Patrick Mahomes just kind of it's still close, but I think that definitely gave Rodgers the edge. So obviously, my guy, the bad man, Aaron Rodgers, is going to win it all, and it's good. You know, they both played their hearts out this season. It was fun. You usually really don't have an MVP race this late into the season. You usually know who it is by now. Like everyone kind of has that idea. This year it was different because there was battling head to head between Mahomes and Rodgers, and I think last week Rodgers finally took that extra step to be on top. But you never know. I've seen crazier stuff happen in the NFL, so we'll see. Let's transition here into the college football playoff, not NCAAF football. So here we go. Thoughts on the 14 playoff? You know what? We're going to start off with Kobe. Kobe, what do you think about this 14 playoff? Was it the right teams? Or if you could change anything, what would you do?
I think it's perfect, to be honest. I don't think anything is wrong with it. Yes, I like it a lot. Don't know how good Notre Dame is going to be though. Think they might lose. I don't think they'll make the championship, but I think the 4 teams was perfect. And I'm gonna state my winner for the whole thing right now. Clemson. Clemson's winning the whole thing. Calling it right now.
All right, Jared, what you
That's all
think?
I have the same thing as Kobe. I think Clemson's going to win it. But I mean, I don't really check up on college football that much, but I know Clemson is very good. So I'm still sticking with Clemson.
Joe?
Don't want to hurt your feelings, Andrew, but one, let's start it off like this. No matter if it was Texas A&M, Cincinnati, Notre Dame, whoever it was, Bama would smack them. So let's get that out of the way first. But with that in regard, it shouldn't have been Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame is a 2-loss team if Trevor Lawrence plays in South Bend against Notre Dame the first time. I think that's pretty clear to see. You can bring up that DJ, the backup for Clemson, threw for, an extraordinary amount of yards, but it's different. The whole playbook wasn't open for DJ like it would be for Trevor Lawrence. There are so many, factors of having your starter versus your backup in, especially when your starter is Trevor freaking Lawrence. Mm-hmm. So with that in mind, Notre Dame's a 2-loss team if Trevor Lawrence plays the first time. And so I don't think that they are that they would be in the playoffs. I think I would much rather have 2 SEC teams than 2 ACC teams. That's just the way I see it. I think Texas A&M was more deserving. Yeah, they did get beat by Bama by a lot, but like if Mac Jones was out and Texas A&M would have won that game, then would Texas A&M have gotten in? I mean, is that the logic we have to use? I don't think it's legit. I think there's a lot of politics to be played here. I mean, we got 4 teams in the playoffs, and all of them are now, granted, 2 of them for sure deserve to be in, and then Ohio State, Notre Dame, they're big names. I mean, they're college football powerhouses. So, but my prediction actually is Alabama to win the whole thing, and they will beat Ohio State. Now, Ohio State only played 6 games on the year, haven't really gotten a chance to prove themselves all that much, but I think with this, there's a nice little almost 2-week gap. I think a little less than that. I think it'll come out to 12 or 13 days. I think with this, it's going to allow a lot of time to improve as a team and, get their guys ready for a battle that Clemson is going to be. I think Clemson is, just as legit as Alabama. But I just think Ohio State, I think Justin Fields and, everybody at Ohio State, fans, players, coaches, they're still remembering that loss last year to Clemson. I think that while circumstances are a lot different this year, I think that it's still fresh in their minds, and they're going to go in there and beat Clemson and then fall to Alabama in the championship.
All right, you guys are gonna think I'm crazy here, but hear me out.
Oh,
In
we
two
already do, Andrew. Don't worry.
in 2013, Notre Dame got embarrassed by Alabama. Notre Dame got literally embarrassed by Alabama. That was Brian Kelly's
Mhm.
second year as a head coach, and they got him undefeated. Um, Brian Kelly hasn't forgotten that. Notre Dame fans haven't forgotten that. So I think it's going to be crazy. And also Alabama center just got hurt, and I'm pretty sure he's not coming back. Little guy does a little dance every time they get offsides. I'm pretty sure he's out for the game. So that's huge because you saw how the team reacted in the SEC championship game.
No, they'll put in another 5-star.
Yeah, they'll put another 5-star. You're right. You're right. But I think Notre Dame is somehow going to beat them. Somehow going to get it done. Are they going to beat Clemson in the championship game? Probably not. Clemson's going to be a national champion, but I think the big upset is going to be Notre Dame Bama. And if Bama wins or if Bama embarrasses Notre Dame, well, everyone thought that. So it's a lose-lose situation for the Irish here. But if they win, then they win. So it'll be okay. But I think Clemson is for sure national championships here. And yeah, that's really all we got to say. And also, it's kind of weird the Rose Bowl being in Texas this year because of the fan restrictions and stuff going on in California. So it says, we'll just move it on to Texas. So that's kind of huge as well. So we'll see. It's going to be really fun. I can't wait to watch these games. All right, let's
Yeah,
see. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
I'm enjoying all the other bowl games. I think right now we got Oklahoma State and Miami. That's a close one. Just bowl season is really fun, and I think now I understand COVID and everything, but I think if you're a program that opted out of a bowl game, you're mistaking. I'm a big KU football fan. As sad as that is, and as tragic as that becomes every Saturday in the fall, I just think if one time throughout this drought the Jayhawks have been on, just one time, if they would have had an extra month of practice that a bowl game provides, I think that we would be in a lot better state. But because we haven't had that since 2009, it's, I mean, just one bowl game throughout that drought, and I think it's different right now. I don't think that, but that's how it goes sometimes. But I think if you opt out of a bowl game, you're not doing what's best for your program.
Perfect. Good job. All right, last thing to talk about. All right, guys. Last thing to talk about NBA, just your overall reactions on the beginning, on how it started, and just what you're looking forward to seeing, what you like seeing so far. We'll start off with Kobe.
All right. As y'all know, my favorite team in the league is the Lakers. Shout out to LA. I love the Lakers. That's always been my team since I was born. Kobe, I'm named after the great Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. And so far, oh man, Lakers have been disappointing me. I know it's really early, and I know they just got done winning the finals in October. Or was it? Yeah, it was about October. October, but our team doesn't look as good as last year, and that's just me being honest. So far, the way we playing, our bench isn't really putting up any points at all. Kyle Kuzma just dropped 20 the other game, then came back next game and only had 7. So we got the same Kyle Kuzma being the same Kyle Kuzma. And Anthony Davis, he went from having 30 the other day to having 13. So, and right now he's injured, sort of, but I mean, we can't keep doing this, AD. You got to stay consistent. You got to stay on top. They got you the top 5 player in the NBA. You got to play like it. So, but, the Lakers, they're going to get it together. A big thing I'm scared of is the Brooklyn Nets. Oh, my goodness. Watching the Brooklyn Nets play basketball is just amazing. It's beautiful. Kyrie's out here cooking dudes. Dudes cannot guard him. And we got the best player in the NBA, Kevin Durant. Came back from an Achilles tear, and he's out here still balling. I mean, people thought he wasn't going to be as explosive as he was now, but he's still attacking the paint. He's still dunking. He's still getting his shots off, and he's looking like the same KD. So Brooklyn looking pretty scary this year, but all the teams are looking really good this year. I just don't really know, what's going to happen. It's going to be a good year for the NBA because a lot of teams are competitive and can compete for a championship this year.
Joe, what you think?
Man, there's so many places you can go with this. First of all, my NBA support, it can be for any team really. as long as like there's a Jayhawk on it. But holy cow, Wiggins and Oubre, 2 Jayhawks, have been disappointing for the Golden State Warriors. I saw the Chicago Bulls graphic on their home broadcast saying replacing Klay, as in Klay Thompson, for bricks, and showed their 3-point percentage stats. That's been abysmal. I'm a Hornets fan because of Devontae Graham. They got a big win against the Nets. But just like overall NBA, we just haven't like seen a consistent like team come out here and just like win every game that they're supposed to. And like we haven't seen that really from anybody. Because like the Nets, you mentioned the Nets, Kobe, they lost to the Hornets. I mean, as a Hornets fan, they shouldn't be losing to the Hornets. The Clippers beat the Lakers on opening night. But what happens to them against the Mavericks? They're down by 50 at halftime, and lose by 51 total. Then you got the Mavericks losing to the Lakers. So I think I'm just glad that there's finally some balance back in the NBA. There doesn't seem to be as many super teams because, like, I think the big thing in the NBA for the longest time was like big threes when you had Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce in Boston. And then you had Bosh, Wade, and James in Miami. And then the Lakers for a little bit, they thought they had a super team, and it wasn't a super team. But now the NBA seems to be shifting more towards duos. So we got duos all over the league, like LeBron and Anthony Davis, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kyrie and KD. I want to put the Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell in there, John Wall and James Harden.
Close.
So they're
Not
all
yet.
Yeah. They're still, but balance in the league I think is really important, and I don't really know if Silver had any part in that. But hats off to the NBA for getting their league, back to a balanced point. I don't think we're ever going to see the total domination of like we saw with the Cavs and Warriors making it to the finals every year. I don't think we're going to see that for a while now. I think this year there's no way that both the Heat and Lakers make it this year. I just think there are too many other good teams and enough teams that anything could happen against for those two teams.
Yeah. What do you think, Jared?
My favorite team is the Thunder, and we're looking actually pretty okay, even though our lineup isn't the best. Like, we only have Shea and, our rookies right now. But I think what I've seen so far is the top teams right now are the Nets, because like Kobe said, they're fun to watch. KD literally looks like normal KD, but he looks like he got better. Kyrie's doing fine. But the thing I think the thing that no one really talks about that's probably going to hinder some of the Nets, especially like their bench, is that injury with Dinwiddie. He just came out I don't even know if it was yesterday or a couple of days ago, but he suffered a partial ACL tear, which is going to, kick him out for the whole season. So I think that could definitely hinder the Nets, come playoff time when they do go against, tougher teams. But I think early predictions, definitely Nets winning it. But I think the Celtics look really good. Jaylen Brown looks like he's stepping up once again. Jason Tatum looks like Jason Tatum. But yeah, I don't know. Pacers are undefeated. Sabonis is doing really, really well.
Cleveland.
But yeah. Yeah, Cleveland's undefeated. But because Colin Sexton, he's playing pretty good too. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting NBA season. I don't think there's a clear winner as of right now. Like, if anything, it looks like the Nets. But I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting season, I would say.
And that's what I love most about this NBA season. It's open. A lot of teams have a good chance this year. Joe kind of take it. All of us kind of said it's open. It's gonna be super fun to watch. I got a sleeper. I know this sounds really weird, but my sleeper pick that I've been telling people, the Phoenix Suns. I'm kind of turning not a fan. I
Yeah.
watch. I'm a Bulls fan, so I've been here in Illinois when watching the Bulls lose to the Warriors final second, or losing those other games, and yeah, the Bulls are the Bulls. But, I'm really going to enjoy watching the Phoenix Suns this year. I think they have a really good chance getting Chris Paul and having Devin Booker back and doing good in the bubble, kind of moving off that and trying to continue to move that momentum, keep moving. And I hope they do really well. I think that's my sleeper team. That's the team I'm going to be following pretty hard this year. That's who I hope wins the championship. But we got a long ways to go till then.
Another thing I also wanted to add is it's still very early in the season, so of course, these are just predictions we're making. But I just wanted to say my finals prediction right now. I got Nets, and I'm gonna say it's real hard for the West. It's real hard, but I'm gonna have to say Lakers, Nets. I think Lakers are gonna get it together. I don't know what's going on with the Clippers, and it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to talk bad about Paul George because I honestly love Paul George. I love his game. I love him as a person, but just seeing the Clippers get 50 ball like that to the Dallas Mavericks, that was just crazy. And I also wanted to give my MVP pick. I think who's going to be MVP this year for the NBA. And I honestly think it's going to be Luka Doncic. I think he's going to be MVP this year. I think he's going to be MVP this year in the NBA. He's going to take the league by storm. And people might think this is crazy, but I think it'll be between him, James Harden, and Trae Young. Those are my top three for MVP. Trae Young will be in that conversation. He's been playing crazy, putting up 30, 40 plus. So shout out Trae Young.
I just watched Trae Young play against the Bulls just a few nights ago. Man, that guy's looking really good. He was hitting from just about anywhere he got the ball, but also he's playing the Bulls. So at the same time, there's that downfall there. But he was hitting from just about anywhere. When he got the ball, I knew he was going to make it. So it was pretty exciting to see Trae Young drop. I think it dropped like 35 or something around there.
I'm not a fan of Trae Young. Now, do I respect his game? I mean, obviously, I respect his game, but do I think that it's going to be a game that wins him championships in the NBA? I don't think so. We saw it at Oklahoma. Now I know it's different. College, NBA, it's a completely different spectrum. But, I mean, everybody in the nation was taken by storm when he was going off at Oklahoma. But then Big 12 plays started, and he was averaging a triple-double, points, assists, and turnovers. When he puts up some impressive stats, and like the turnovers have gone down for him in the NBA, but his stats are from the ball always being in his hands. Like, he's either scoring the points or making the assists, So, I mean, it's kind of like James Harden to an extent. I think that he is more efficient than James Harden in that, like, I know that they're both really efficient guys, but like when they are the whole offense, you got to be like even more efficient than, what they are. So I just don't see Trae Young. I see Trae Young having a similar career to James Harden if he's going to be the best player on whatever team he's on.
Yeah, I think I don't know. For me, it's just there's a lot. Trae Young has become a better team player. I think moving into the NBA, I think he's become better. He can read the court better now. He knows how to pass the ball when he needs to. The early years, he saw that he didn't, and it's taken time. And it's taken time for him to learn. And hopefully, if he continues to grow as a player, and college was early in his career, and he's got a lot more time to go, a lot more time to learn. I think he's going to be in the league for a while. So if he continues to learn, continues to get that discipline, and continues to know when and when not to pass the ball, I think he's going to be dangerous. And we still got a lot of time to judge Trae Young as we go on. Jared, what do you think, bud?
Looking, finals predictions and all that. I'm looking at the Western In Eastern, I think Eastern's a little bit more easy to say who's going to make it. I'm still sticking with the Nets, but obviously they still have to go through Celtics, Bucks, the Heat, the Pacers now, and the 76ers. I mean, maybe the Wizards if they make it. I think they could be a really good underdog team if they do make playoffs. But when I'm looking over in the Western Conference, I don't see that many bad teams. Clippers, Jazz, Suns, or like Andrew said, I'm excited for DeAndre Ayton and the Suns organization. But Trail Blazers, the Lakers, obviously. What the? Oh, okay. Sorry, something just
Zoom
happened.
for you, folks. Zoom for you.
Mavericks. Yeah, Mavericks, Nuggets, Grizzlies, and even the Rockets. James Harden, and I'm excited to see how John Wall's been playing pretty good. They don't have DeMarcus Cousins right now, but I'm having a tough time deciding who I think in the Western Conference is going to pull out. Like default answer, I'm going to say Lakers, but I would not be surprised if the Mavericks make a run for it, or even the Clippers. They might. I think they can just get stuff clicking. Then that's when I think Tyronn Lue is doing better than Doc Rivers right now. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting season.
Kobe, I saw that face. What you thinking?
Are you sure about that? I don't think Doc Rivers got 50 ball by the Dallas Mavericks ever in his career. So
I know.
That's a
but yeah,
that's a decent point.
Obviously you're not going to win when Paul George is your number one option, but I don't know. I think that was just out of the blue. It's only Tyronn Lue's third game. I mean, and the thing that's going to definitely kill the Clippers is chemistry. The article that came out just before this NBA season talking about how last year's chemistry was messed up because of the special treatment that Kawhi and Paul George got, and how they treated, how they controlled practices and how they got to decide if they were playing or not. But I think if they get past that and they're fully healthy, I think they can start, winning more games and then eventually, not blow a 3-1 lead to the Nuggets. But yeah.
Another thing I also wanted to add, this is a very hot take that I have, but I've been thinking about this for a long time. I saw him play the first game against the Celtics. Giannis is very overrated. I'm sorry. Giannis cannot play the game of basketball. He's just 7 foot.
It's been 3 games.
7 foot long. No, it's not even just been 3 because of this year. I've been saying it for the long. Even this season, he's won MVP. I've always said that Giannis is not very good. His style he plays in is good for the regular season, but the way they play East Coast offense, he gets the ball. Everybody, you have 2 in the corner, 2 on the elbow. He gets the ball on the top of the key, and he just tries to force his way in, and that's good for regular season. But when you get the playoffs, it don't work. And after watching them play the Celtics, he literally had 5. He had 5 offensive fouls, all taking charges against them. And I'm just like, this the way Giannis plays. He had 8 turnovers. He had people was talking about 35 points and 14 rebounds, but he also had 8 turnovers.
And cost his team that game with that missed free throw.
And cost the team the game with the missed free throw. Even when he got to the free throw line, I'm like, oh, this game is over. He's not making these free throws. Like, I know I wasn't the only person thinking that. So I had to throw that out there. I think Giannis is just, like I said, he's 7 foot. He got a long wingspan. He's tall. He's athletic. So, he's good. He's came a long way. And no disrespect to Giannis. I respect his game. He's in the NBA. He's a very good player. He's a MVP. But I just think the way he plays basketball, I don't think he's going to win anything playing the way he does, and he's just too chaotic. But that's my point on Giannis.
Well, at least he's getting paid.
I think the whole Bucks team in general is just overrated. I don't think the Bucks are championship contenders. They'll make the playoffs again, but the same outcome will happen just like last year. They'll lose first or second round.
Who are they going to pay? Let me ask you that. Who the
Yeah.
heck are they going to pay? They just paid Giannis basically their whole everything, right? So, like, who are they going to get that can help Giannis that they can actually afford? You know, it's going to be interesting to see what they do there. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah.
Well, so you guys all, I think, are high on the Nets making the finals out of the East. So let's say KD's Achilles snaps again, or Kyrie breaks an ankle. Are they still the team?
their finals hopes are pretty low. I mean that you can say that about the Bucks. If Giannis goes down, they're probably not going to make playoffs unless Chris Middleton, is doing what he's doing right now. But well, yeah. I mean, if a key player gets injured, most likely, yeah, it's going to hinder their finals hopes.
I'm nervous about saying the Nets straight out just because Kyrie and KD both weren't healthy last year. And so to count on them to go through 82 and go through the playoffs and be healthy, I know they're already doing some load management. So, they're, keeping them, limiting their reps. But, is it really going to be – are they really going to stay healthy throughout the whole year? I think the fact that that's still I'm not a doctor, but I think it definitely breaks them if one of them goes down. There's no there are a lot of teams who will still be okay if one of their top two guys goes down. The Nets, I don't think, are okay if Kyrie or KD goes down. I don't think so.
I gotta stop you right there, Joe. I'm sorry. There's not any team that would be okay if their top two goes down. I'm sorry. There's not.
Well, no. I'm saying if one out of their top two goes down.
I don't even think that. I don't even think if their top. The only team I could really say that about may be
Lakers.
Portland. I give it to Portland. Portland, because I just seen it last night. CJ McCollum had a bad game. Damian Lillard played good, and then Gary Trent stepped up and played good, and Carmelo even gave me some points right there. But any other team, I can't say that if their top one goes down, that they can still do damage in the league.
I think a lot of teams can be the same regular season record, like within 3 to 5 games. If without one of their top two guys. But I just don't think that with everybody that's behind KD and Kyrie, I don't think that there's enough there to make up for the fact that KD and Kyrie, if one of them were to not be there, I don't think there's enough behind either of those two to make up for it. And I think every other team in the league has at least a decent amount of that. Not every other contender. Playoff contender.
Interesting. Well, guys, that was some great NBA talk for sure. I'm glad the NBA is back. I think everyone's happy the NBA is back. I've on a personal note, I've actually gained a lot more respect for the NBA after kind of sitting down and watching them more and more and more. It wasn't my favorite sport, but baseball was my favorite sport. But I'm really starting to enjoy basketball a lot. The intensity, the watching the fluent plays happen, and Cali's been a big part of that. After watching, our men's team and women's team do very good, it's been awesome to just kind of grow my passion for basketball more and more. But, I think that's going to do it, guys. That's all we had. Anything else to add or throw in last second that we forgot to talk about?
I don't know. Have you guys watched the TNT broadcast of the NBA? How delayed everything is?
Oh, no.
Have you guys watched that?
I think it is.
Yeah, it's like everything is late. Like, it's weird.
Everything is so delayed. Like the first day, like they'll have Chris Webber would be in some I think it would be in the studio in Atlanta, and then I don't even know I forgot who the other commentator is, but say it was Clark Kellogg, he would be in Los Angeles, and they would just do the commentating at like a studio, and then the reactions would obviously be delayed. Like one thing, like a shot that got ruined because of it was Jason Tatum's shot over Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he banked it in, they were like already in like a timeout, and they just now reacted to it, and then I think they learned that they need to suppress the game audio, so they don't pick up any something that would ruin the commercial of the NBA, the PG side of it. It's just really boring. It just kind of ruins it, and I think definitely watch games on mute unless it's on ESPN, because at least at ESPN they're actually at the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't have to. They're not delayed at all. But TNT, I don't know.
Here's my take, right? I've been in a TV truck working with Zach and stuff for the past 2 years now, and I can just sit there and imagine you trying to direct a game, but then your audio people are like, yo, this is delayed, like super duper delayed, and then the director kind of just freaking out, like, man, this isn't fair. Because I'm trying to produce my good game, make it look good on television, but then your stupid butts are not even on location, and we're trying to send them both this feed and make sure it sounds good, and at the same time doing a talk back, trying to make this work. It's just a one big mess. And just sitting there in that TV truck thinking, oh my goodness, because like you said, that shot, that awesome reaction, we don't get because they're not there and it's too delayed. In my opinion, when it comes to this, whether it be COVID protocol, at least make the talent drive close, be close to the vicinity, so then that delay doesn't happen as much. Be as close to the truck as possible and be as close to the arena as possible, because at least they're getting a better, closer time. Because you're in LA and you're trying to send these feeds in different spots. It has worked with ESPN sometimes, and they work it out. But when you're doing the basketball game, football game, any sporting event there, that's when it's best, because you're right there and you can see it by your face and you can see it through the monitor, and it's getting fed right into your monitor, and you're seeing exactly what they're doing real time.
Before we go,
I mean, yeah, it's oh, what?
No, you can go, Jared, because I just got something to say. But you can.
I was just gonna say, it's a very impressive mess. It's impressive how they got it to work, but it's just really messy all around.
Before we head out, just wanted to give my final take on NBA, and just want to let the world know that don't get this mistaken. Kevin Durant is the best player in the world. Don't get that wrong. It's not LeBron, not Giannis, not Kawhi, not anyone else. It's Kevin Durant. Don't get that wrong. He is Durantula. He's a 7-foot monster. He can shoot the three. He can drive. He can do everything. He's giving out dimes. Don't forget that, world. Kevin Durant is the best player.
No.
I agree.
If scoring is all that matters, okay, yeah, he's the best player in the world.
He could do anything.
He just had a 7-assist game last night. I mean, what else do you want to
7?
do?
That's incredible.
That's hard to do. That is not an easy thing to do.
Kevin Durant.
Yes, but you got to keep in mind that other dudes are doing that. Other dudes are scoring the same amount of, not as much points, but they're scoring close to the same amount of points, but they're doing it with 10 assists. Like, if 7 assists is an impressive night for Kevin Durant, then
he's 7.
I don't think he's the best player in the game. That's just the way I see it.
People say he's a scorer. So yes, him having 7 assists is good for Kevin Durant. Like, I don't understand. He's a scorer.
But that's what I'm saying. All he does is score.
I think if you're almost 7 feet tall and you got handles like a guard and you can just shoot over people and drive to the basket easy, that's literally, he's literally Giannis, just a few inches shorter, and he can actually handle the ball, and he's quicker.
They can shoot.
That's how I see him.
No,
he can shoot better.
No, LeBron's the greatest basketball player on the court right now, man. LeBron knows everything. LeBron's been there. KD's a sellout. That's what sell out, as they say on the Pat McAfee show.
I think he's letting his OKC bias get in there.
Well, no, I'm not a big OKC guy. I just think it's funny that I don't know. It's not you could do something. Yeah, I guess it kind of is. I think he should have stayed in OKC, but I think LeBron James is by far, hands down, the best player in the league, without a doubt. He's in the NBA Finals every year almost.
Everybody listen to me. I don't care if you're in America, Canada, Australia. I don't care where you're at. The way that this man Kevin Durant scores, I mean, it's crazy. And yes, he is. Maybe he is just a scorer, but the way he scores is just crazy. His mentality is crazy. If it's clutch time, I'm giving Kevin Durant the ball. We're going to win that game. And the thing, people still say he's a sellout, but he's not with the Warriors anymore. I mean, that's over. He's with the Nets now. It's him and Kyrie. He's going to go get his ring this year. I'm calling the Nets winning the finals just because of Kevin Durant. I've seen Kevin Durant do things that other 7-footers can't do. I've seen him score the way other 7-footers can't do. I mean, Kevin Durant is just different. He's a different breed. I think he's the best player in the world, best player in the NBA, best player, whatever you want to say, not of all time, but he's going to be top 10 all time by the time he retires. And I'm saying Kevin Durant.
I think he is top 10.
I think he's already there. I think, don't get me wrong.
I don't know about
I think he's top 10 all time already.
If not, he's top 15.
Oh, without a doubt.
He has to be up there.
I don't know. Okay. I just think he's got to get to be the best player in the world. I just think more's got to be required out of it than scoring the basketball.
Who do you think the best player in the world is?
LeBron. NBA. Because I'm just saying, like, LeBron literally does it all for the Lakers. And, you know, I know he's not, you know, scoring like Kevin Durant is, but I just think, I don't know. I just think that there's a lot more to be done than be the best scorer, than to be now being the best scorer, maybe like 50% or 60% of it. But because Kevin Durant lacks in other categories, that's why I can't give him the
like what?
Best. Like what?
What is he lacking? Yeah.
Well, you guys were just like, oh, he had 7 assists the other night, and so all of a sudden he's a great passer. I mean,
but you can't just say he's only a scorer.
The 7 assists is nice.
And Kevin Durant also plays defense as well. I mean, just 2 years ago with the Warriors, he literally was on the all defensive team and literally was in mention for defensive player of the year.
And another thing, I know.
So Kevin Durant also plays defense.
I just think that that there's so much. I just think that there's so much more that goes into it, and he doesn't do enough in the other categories. He's still good in other categories, obviously, because he is, like we said, he is a top player all time. But I don't think he's the best player in basketball right now. I can't give him that distinction.
Man, this is going to go on for the rest of the year until the NBA season's over, until Tigers Den's basically done for this year. But, man, it's been a great episode, as always.
College basketball?
Yeah, go ahead. I didn't even think about college basketball.
Okay.
What's going on?
So, college basketball, you know, I'm a homer, so KU rock chalk. But Gonzaga, they're dangerous. Jalen Suggs. Yeah. He looks really good for the Zags. They got that the big man Timmy looks pretty good. I think the Zags, obviously, they're going to get to their conference season and go coast through that because their conference is whack. Yeah. But I do think if KU and Gonzaga were to not play on the first game of the year, the result would be different. Would Gonzaga still win? Maybe. But I think it's a lot closer of a game. KU is not going to allow 102 to be put up on them ever again. I think, especially when you're coached by Coach Bill Self, you know, defense travels for him. No matter where the Jayhawks go, they're going to bring their defense with them. They did not bring it to Fort Lauderdale for the opening game against Gonzaga. But I think Big 12 is going to be interesting to watch this year. We already saw a top 10 matchup between KU and West Virginia. I think Texas snuck in the top 10. I think they're top 15. I don't think they're top 10 right now. But Texas and KU is on Saturday. So, and then Baylor. Baylor really hasn't gotten the chance to really show all that much. They haven't really played, the top competition that KU and Gonzaga have gotten to play. But Baylor's going to be even more dangerous than they were last year. So there are 4 really good teams in the Big 12. Big 12 is going to be the most entertaining league in college basketball this year.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I think the Big 10 also has a pretty decent basketball league this year. They have some great teams with Iowa, Northwestern. Can't think of some other ones on the top of my head, but
How about Minnesota?
Yeah, Minnesota's doing good as well.
Just trouncing Michigan State last night.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oof.
I love it. Go ahead, Kobe.
I just want to say, my Duke Blue Devils are struggling right now, but we got a lot of freshmen on the team, so that's expected because Kentucky's struggling right now.
Yeah, I was about to say it. At least you're not the Kentucky Wildcats right now.
Yeah, so Fletcher just got kicked off the team, so they're doing they had a lot of problems right now too. But with the Big 12, I definitely think the Big 12 is going to be the best basketball conference in the nation. With KU, Texas is a really big, is going to be a really good team this year. They're going to have a lot of competition to give KU. And another thing, shout out to Mizzou. Mizzou is ranked. Big shout out. Big shout out to Mizzou.
Sorry.
Mizzou basketball is finally back on the map. We are finally ranked. Finally, after years. Oh my goodness. Mizzou has not won anything basketball-wise, but right now, I'm pretty sure they're undefeated. Don't correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're 4-0, 5-0 right now. So shout out to Mizzou basketball. You guys making Missouri proud and keep doing good.
The better Brown brother is at KU. Christian Brown,
right,
doing good things for Jayhawks. Won Big 12 Player of the Week last week. But yeah, there's only one program in the nation that is consistent as far as always getting a top 4 seed in the tournament, never getting in the NIT. Because last year North Carolina wasn't even going to make the tournament. We've seen Kentucky lose in the first round of the NIT. I actually think Duke and KU both fall in the category of always consistent, always going to be a top team in the tournament. No matter what kind of year it is for Duke and Kansas, they're going to be someone you don't want to see in your bracket. And I think that goes a long way to what Coach K and Coach Self are doing. But Coach Cal this might be the year that KU catches back up with Kentucky for all-time wins. Let me look that up real quick because I'm pretty sure it was less than 15 before the year.
And while you're looking that up, Missouri is actually undefeated 6-0. They're 12th ranked in the country, but they play the number 7th ranked Tennessee Volunteers tomorrow. So it's going to be a really tough game. I'm pretty sure that Tennessee is undefeated as well, 6-0. So 2 undefeated, 1 will walk out with 1 loss. So that's going to be pretty cool. Jared, what you got on college basketball, my guy?
I haven't really kept up with it that much, but I just looked up Oklahoma State. The Big 12 is very good. Oklahoma State is the second worst, and they're 6-2. The worst team by far in the Big 12 is just Iowa State, and they're 2-6 or 2-8.
And K-State.
But from Oklahoma, K-State's actually ranked 4th in the Big 12, even though they did lose to Fort Hays. But
standings just
Oklahoma
right
State,
now.
just right now. But Oklahoma State has that recruit. I forgot what was his name.
Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham. Okay, I knew it was Cunningham. Yeah, he's been paying out pretty good. I saw he did have a highlight on his first game where he dunked on someone. But I don't know.
Shockers defended them pretty well. Shockers defended Cunningham pretty well when they played them. But Cunningham's done pretty well. But it was pretty interesting to see how they did.
They only lost by 3 to Texas the other night.
Yeah.
So
I think Oklahoma State, aren't they ineligible for postseason this year?
I think so.
I think they're
I have
ineligible.
no idea.
But regardless, it's always tough to go into Gallagher-Iba and get a win in Stillwater. And now especially with Cade Cunningham there at Oklahoma State, just they're not going to be a team that adds to the Big 12's big dance total this year because of some violations. But, I mean, they are going to be a team that proves that the Big 12 is a good league. So,
what an episode. What an episode. We did it. We did it, guys, over Zoom. We might do this again before. Great job, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Tigers out, guys.
Tigers out.
Tigers
Rock
out.
Top.